My name is Charly Cohen. My pronouns today are she and they. I am gender fluid, bisexual. I am a performing artist and designer, and I've lived in Glendale for about 5 years.
And I am Nicholas May, going by he, him. Sexuality-wise, generally reevaluating every day. And I am a set designer and themed entertainment designer in the entertainment industry, and have also been living in Glendale for about 5 years.
We are a couple!
We are indeed. Hello. I love you. I like that. That was good. Good answer. We've been in a committed relationship for, we keep losing track of just how long, but been together for a long time, and officially moved in together when I moved down to start working in Los Angeles as well.
8
in
years.
2016. 8 years?
Yeah.
8 years. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I first met Charly when I was still a teenager. I was in
A classic tale.
a classic tale. Like, is it like a Hallmark movie? I don't know. But I'd already been friends with her and her family for quite a while. I met her brother, Zach, when I was in high school.
He's friends with my older brother.
Who is
back
still one of
in
my
high
best
school.
friends. And so I got to know the entire family pretty well. And after several years of being friends, hanging out, getting to know each other.
After everyone graduated from high school, Nick stuck around because he stayed local for college and got to know
That's
my
true.
family better.
That is true.
Yeah.
In the
That's
timeline.
an
It's
important...
an important part. It's an important part. Which resulted in me getting to spend more one-on-one time with Charly, which in turn resulted in us getting to like each other romantically more and more. Feelings started happening. And so that's when we started dating each other a little while after. And consequently, why it sort of immediately delved into long distance
After
for
I
us.
graduated high school.
Because she graduated. So then she had to go to college, and I was still doing college, and we did long distance until neither of us was in college anymore.
Go for it.
Oh, okay. Well, so for us,
Putting the pressure on you.
putting the pressure on me,
I got no coffee left.
Gosh, I haven't put words to this in a while. We live together. We've lived together since the entire time since I mentioned moving down to Glendale.
There were 3 years where we were long distance.
Yeah,
Then we moved in together.
it was our long developmental stage / I suppose more the dating period.
I call Nick my partner. I ask him to call me such as well.
And
Sometimes
I
I
do as
refer
such.
to him as my boyfriend because I know that he likes that.
I just think it has cute sounds. And but we are not married. At least not yet. TBD on plans like that.
And monogamous.
And monogamous.
All right. Do you want to start this one?
I don't know. Yeah, marriage. I suppose there will be quite a bit of, I don't know, not to speak of it as though it isn't or couldn't be a priority. I guess I've just had plenty of examples in my life that encapsulate a spectrum of experiences. My parents are pretty classic example of American parents, a straight man and woman who got married early on because they wanted to build a family.
Oh yeah,
while,
my parents also got, like, they knew each other early and they got married at, I don't remember what age. It was around college.
They each met each other when, like, they were 15. It's not fair.
So that has definitely influenced
Sure.
My thoughts based on my experiences.
But then some of the, I don't know if I call them like the elders in my life, some of the other adults in my life have encapsulated other experiences though, and one of my favorite sets of like non-blood related relatives, I say because I've known them since I came into this world, have been like happily together but not married for almost 50 years now. And so like I look up to that as well. So I guess
you don't see marriage as a requirement.
Yeah.
For a fulfilling relationship.
Yeah, is the thing. And you know, like I certainly don't necessarily want to do a thing just for the sake of tax breaks or whatever, but like I still recognize it as a important tradition that has value under itself, but I'm not actually sure for what priorities I would want to do that specifically outside of the same things that I would do with our relationship in the first place of just being committed and very supportive of each other and just helping to make each other's days in life a little easier and loving each other. So yeah.
Oh.
What is that? Is that good? Was that okay?
No, yeah, that was good. Okay. For me, there's another component to it as well, in that the religious tradition that I come from, Judaism, has a different view of marriage than Christianity or any other religion. I also personally knew that there were like certain things I wanted to know about myself before that ever happened. I also don't ascribe to the relationship escalator that a lot of people do. And it doesn't mean I'm any less committed to my partner. All right, so my family is very open. So I was never judged negatively for any way that I developed, but I still grew up in a heteronormative society. But what led me the most to discoveries about my gender and sexuality were the spaces that I spent time in and the media that I consumed. I have always been drawn towards stories that feature protagonists that defy the gender binary, shall we say. Stories like Ouran High School Host Club features a non-binary protagonist.
I was hoping that'd be the one you mentioned.
Yeah.
A classic.
Mulan, a favorite. Tamara Pierce's books were very formative in my early reading years and feature what we would now call trans characters and LGBTQ characters as well in the different stories in the Tortal and Emelon universes. I love them very much. They're very important to me. I also, because of that, I knew that I was probably not what the norm was associated to be.
What was being described to us as the standard template.
Straight and
whatever
cis.
you want. Yeah.
Still assumed to be what is normal. I don't consider that. I think everyone is more gay than they realize. Also right now, when we're not spending time performing for others, people are coming to a greater understanding
more time
of
thinking about one's
gender,
own state of existence.
But yeah, that's what led to that. And I also spent time in high school. Well, I was a theater kid, so I knew a lot of LGBTQ kids growing up, but I was also part of the GSA at my high school, and just like learning about what other people experienced helped me figure out what I understand myself to be. Mm-hmm. And it's also something that I am constantly reevaluating as we get new language for it.
When it comes to any of my history or developmental stages that led me to an understanding of my sexuality, I feel like this wasn't anything that earth-shattering. In that my parents were very much of the like that they, whatever I happened to be as a person, they just wanted me to be happy and find love.
He's an only child. They're very supportive.
And so that's probably highly fueled by that. And so given that, I never particularly felt like there was going to be any sort of like wrong choice too strongly about anybody I might like. And I liked this one pretty early on, so I spent most of my time in exposure with Charly, and she along the way that has also helped me immensely in like expanding my understanding and vocabulary.
Think about it.
Yeah, make me think about it more than I granted probably would on my average daily life, and that's definitely a good thing. We were watching, as many people have been doing during the pandemic, Schitt's Creek. And there was what I thought was actually very lovely dialogue between a couple characters, and one of them is talking about their sexuality. They're using an analogy with wine, and they mentioned something along the lines of, I care more about the wine rather than the label. And I was just sort of digging into that in my mind and really thought that was a lovely sentiment. It very much spoke to my way of thinking. Where to start?
I might be the wrong person to ask about this because I don't. Both of us have. We'll call straight passing privilege, since I am femme and present as a woman that can be read that way.
And I generally
he's a man,
pass as
right. We
masculine
can walk down the street and hold hands and no one will judge us or harass us. So I know that is not necessarily the case for people, because I have, from people that I have talked to, come to know the experience of other people that have been harassed. And I would like to not have that happen to people that I like. Yeah. As far as like public events and cultural understanding goes, I don't have visions for initiatives. I can say I like the public displays from the Alex Theater and the recent lighting up of City Hall. That was really wonderful. And the initiatives from the library, it was great as well.
Yeah, for me
as far as making the city feeling like welcoming.
For me it's kind of like literally anything goes. Like, I mean, which sort of dips into, for me, that like I'm the fan of like any excuse for an event or cultural festival. Like, embrace it. Let's get exposure to everybody's way of life. and like share and revel in it. So kind of anything more that continues to add to the pile would be great. You know, I could easily imagine some sort of open festival like encapsulating the Americana. How fun would that be? Or or something, or something that closes off brand and walking around with festivities.
Pedestrian events.
Pedestrian events. I love a good pedestrian event.
I thought it was cool that we were gonna have a Pride Festival here, but then obviously pandemic, I know. I know it was planned.
But we'll get there, right? Because the momentum, right? It's still happening, just not now. Okay. Yeah. I know.
3, 2, 1, go!
Hi. What was the question proper and sexiest thing about our partners?
I wanted to hear.
Oh, that was I got it. That was right though.
Yes.
I started thinking about other things that I liked about you. I was like, wait, was that actually relevant to the prompt though?
Sexiest thing.
Sexiest thing. Okay. Are we just still recording?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, gosh, it's super old-fashioned, but right there, I really love your eyes. Since always, she'll call me out because I'll do a stare for a while, and be like, "What you doing? You looking at me?" And I'll be like, "Yes, I am. Don't mind me." And